everybody. Happy soggy Valentine's Day. With the rain coming in, it's given us a chance to catch up on some of our update videos. So I was going to give an update on all the Main Street work here. You've probably seen the drill rig out there. The mainline work is continuing. They've made it all the way up to Junction. So if you remember, they started down at Cascade and have been able to directionally drill in all of the main line running towards the east and are now at Junction. Once they get to Junction, they actually switch to the south side of the road. So they'll 45 across Main Street there through another bore and then keep on marching east until they get to San Juan. That progress is actually going a little quicker than we anticipated, which is good. Towards the end of next week, a crew will fall back and start doing some of the valve insertions and the connections to the old pipes or the existing lateral pipes at the intersection. So you'll see kind of isolated intersection closures. Obviously, as the drilling continues east, you'll see isolated lane closures there along the edges. And that work is planned to kind of keep going along in its same flavor for the next couple weeks until they get to the end there. Today, they're actually, with the rain, they're not drilling, so they're going back and doing a lot of the, if you'll notice, some of the old holes were piped or had trench plates over top of them. So they'll go through and clean up a lot of those through the diagonal parking downtown core today. So hopefully a lot of that will be wide open this week. A lot of those, if you notice, when they put them down, the streets not perfectly flat. And so the edges of those stick up. So they put cones on those to make sure nobody popped a tire. So, that we had isolated onesie-twosie parking spot closures. After today's cleanup work, a lot of those should be fully reopened and will stay open until they come back to do the service reconnections, which is probably at least a month out. So that's the current schedule. Things are somewhat fluid depending on equipment breakdowns and crew availability as they bounce between different projects. But that's what it's looking like now. And if things change, we'll let you know. An interesting development we had this week was out at westbound, on the westbound lane where Main Street joins Townsend. They're doing some potholing to expose the existing utilities to verify elevations for some the upcoming crossing of Townsend, and discovered a pretty large void. It's about 10 foot by 10 foot by 2 to 3 foot below the concrete pad there. That portion of Main Street is concrete where it's up near the signal. And so obviously those aren't good things beneath roads. It's amazing that concrete slab has supported the full load of traffic with nothing below it for that large of an area. So if you notice, the right turn lane there is closed. It's underneath that right turn lane westbound where it joins Townsend. So because of that void, that'll remain closed. We're working we're actually going to modify our plan a little bit because that changes how we would do pipeline work in this area. We'll likely have a receiving pit there for for the last little piece of bore, and we'll likely just take out that portion of concrete so we can get a good fill underneath and actually get it fully in contact with the underside of the road and get that put back together. So for safety reasons, until that work comes there at that intersection, which with CDOT permitting and stuff is still a little ways out, a couple weeks out, that right turn lane will remain closed because now that we have a hole in it that we use to verify and see all of that, it's too risky to put vehicles back on that without that support. An update on West Main. So the contract was awarded to Ridgeway Valley Enterprises for that work. We're working with all the pre-construction stuff with CDOT. It's looking like they'll probably mobilize late March or early April on that project. So more to come as that gets closer, but that project was awarded. All is a go. An update on the overlay and street improvement portions of the project. That project we finished the design last weekend, got that out to bid, and had the pre-bid this week. A couple changes that have come up since the last time we talked about this project. There was questions about bike lanes throughout the kind of the design process and what may be possible. We've gotten through all the striping design and it will fit. To add, we're going to be adding bike lanes. We'll still maintain all the through lanes, the center turn lane, and the parking. And actually, the lanes, there's just over wide lanes in there, so the lanes will come down to a more urban standard. And so with a little bit of lane width restriction, we're able to fit everything in and get bike lanes from Nevada eastward. And so just like on West Main, where the bike lanes will start at Seelig. So when you get into the kind of more rural and out of those median areas, it gives a bike pathway to get down into downtown. Also on East Main, it's unique that, we have Nevada's a well-used bike corridor, so we'll have a bike connectivity down to there to give a dedicated facility. So we were very excited to see that we could have our cake and eat it too, keep all the functionality of Main Street on that reach while adding the bike lanes. And the median work. So we got deeper into the design. We were originally going to reconfigure the median between Townsend and Cascade, the first block there on East Main. We looked deeper into the intersection operations, signal timings, and drain times for that turn lane. And it really only added one car at the cost of about $100,000 and the loss of some mature landscaping. So we've actually elected to not modify that median. So that's a recent change that just the bang for the buck and the impact it would have to the aesthetics. We felt it wasn't worth that extra vehicle to squeeze through each light cycle. But other than that, everything is as planned, and that is all moving forward. We opened bids for that later this month and should have updates on contract award hopefully into March. But as always, if you have any questions, give me a call on my cell, 970-901-1792. And we hope everybody has a great weekend. Thank you.